Mike Milnarik here, and I've got a little bit a short, hopefully short, uh, uh, topic today that I hope can help you, and I hope that this advice is something that you don't even need because you already do it. And if you don't already do it, I hope this is advice that will actually make you think a little bit and get you to do things a little bit differently. So, one of the things that is really important for your success of doing anything, whether it's music, whether it's some other area of life, whether it's relationships or anything, is trust. Trust is a really important thing. Trust comes from one of the main things. Of course, we associate trust with telling the truth, or not telling the truth, lying. So lack of trust comes from lying. So the big thing is tell the truth. You know, we all tell little white lies and stuff to save people's feelings and that kind of stuff, and sometimes that happens. And I think there's some statistic that people tell so many lies per day or something like that. But they're like little white lies. They're not harmful lies. And again, they're little things, about just so you spare somebody's feelings, like, does this make me look fat? That kind of thing. So, sorry, that's bad. But so I'm just trying to add some humor to the topic. But the problem is that, trust doesn't only come from, people telling lies or not. I mean, that's part of it, of course. I'm one of these people that, for better or for worse, I'm not good at lying. I'm actually bad at it, because one of the things that happens sometimes with liars that aren't really good at it is that they forget what they say or what they told you in the lie, and then they get caught because the things don't match up, stories don't match up. So I'm bad at that, because it's just like I forget what I said. So it's just like, I don't have the greatest memory all the time. I have a steel trap for certain things, and I have a mind that just is like a sieve sometimes for other things. And so I'm bad at it. So for better or for worse, I tell the truth. The unfortunate thing, and I will tell you where this is all coming from, because there's a specific reason why I jumped on and started making a video today about this particular topic. I was inspired today about this. And I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. But I just want to go on with the other part of people trusting you. People trusting you has a lot to do with what they see you do. Your work ethic is part of it. But the big thing is doing what you say you're going to do. Now, it's not necessarily always a lie if you don't do something you say you're going to do. I mean, you probably didn't have the intention of lying to somebody when you said you were going to do something and then didn't do it. But the problem with this whole thing is that when you promise somebody or tell somebody you're going to do something and then you don't do it, they lose faith in you. They lose trust in you. So it's like you have to make sure that you follow through. If you're going to tell somebody you're going to do something, that's your word. And your word is very important. There is a lot of problems where people have past experiences. Everybody has past experiences with those that have lied to them. Some people have been lied to more than others, of course. Some people are more affected because they've been lied to or manipulated by others in their past. And so then they have a hard time believing anything anybody says. Even if it's 100% the truth, it doesn't make a difference. They still have this doubt in their mind. So it's important to for your character in other people's eyes to have a track record and show that I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm going to follow through. Another part of this is communication. Sometimes when people don't communicate and there's a topic at hand and they don't communicate, it's almost as can be perceived as they're hiding something from you, because they're not telling you what's going on along the way, what the process is, where we are in the process, what's happening. So I did tell you, I would tell you why I was inspired by this topic today. This has to do with my car getting fixed and dealing with a whole bunch of stuff between a mechanical facility, a body shop, also my insurance company. And some people I'm sure had seen my post about looking for another insurance company, but I'm still dealing with the same problem from an accident. And I just, I'm having serious problems with lack of communication. And then people not wanting to take responsibility for certain things. And then the biggest thing is having promises made and they're not kept. And so it's like not doing what you say you're going to do. So yes, this is a specific instance for me, but like I said, this was very inspiring. I mean, I guess the silver lining of this is that I made another video that may help other people. So, but I had to deal with some aggravation just a little bit ago, and had to deal very firmly with a body shop. And it's absolutely infuriating at times when this stuff happens, because your livelihood is at stake. There's a lot of things that can be affected with, I'm not talking about me personally, but some of it's me personally. Your livelihood is at stake. Your relationships could be at stake. You have responsibilities that you can't uphold. You can't go grocery shopping like you want to, that you need to. You can't support others if that's the case. And I mean, there's a list of things that it affects, but people that promise things and don't do what they say they're going to do is a serious problem, because they don't think about how that affects the other people that are involved. And that could be a trickle down that it actually affects multiple people on multiple levels, because they don't know your life. You don't know their life. So, and then to actually have lies on top of it, that you're being told certain things. I just got told something on the phone just a little bit ago that I told the guy, I said, that's 100% a lie. This is what you told me. You promised you were going to do this. And then this, and this never happened. And now here we are. So, I mean, these are the kind of things that are very frustrating. It's something that really makes a difference in people's lives, because if you show that you are someone that does what you say they're going to do, and because sometimes we are so conditioned by past experiences of people lying to us or people manipulating us and people trying to take advantage of us in some way, then the people that actually are honest and are on top of it, they get a poor shake out of it, or a bad rap out of it, because those people that have had those situations are not going to trust anybody. And then they're going to assume that you're doing the same thing, whether you're telling the truth or not. So it's just like that's really frustrating. And it's just like, so when I hear people say something and tell me they're going to do something they don't, and there's no communication sometimes there's reasons that things happen, that this happened, that happened, and it prohibited things. I get that. Any reasonable person, I think, would. But it doesn't change the fact that you're being affected by it. So when you do what you say you're going to do, you don't lie about anything serious. And I'm not trying to condone lying, don't get me wrong, because I'm actually the worst liar on the planet, like I said. But we all probably tell little white lies and stuff to save people's feelings, and there may be some reason that we have to sometimes, just for a good reason, not because you're hiding something. So if you do those things, you do what you say you're going to do, you're not a liar, you haven't proven that you're a liar, and you make promises, but you keep those promises, which goes along the lines of doing what you say you're going to do, and you show that you have a consistency in doing these things, it shows good character. And that is really, really important. And when you have good character and you do those things, people want to be around you. People want to do things with you, and people actually want you on their side, because there may be times where they need help with something, or they need your advice, or they need some expertise, or they need support, whatever it is. And they know they can count on you, that you can help them if you say you're going to help them, or you're not going to lie to them. You're going to tell them as it is. Of course, sometimes you got to candy coat it to make it so that, you're not upsetting someone as well. But they can rely on you. And I think that being able to be relied on, whether it's in a professional situation, whether it's in a personal situation, in a relationship, in a friendship, in a business deal, in any situation of human interaction, I think that's probably the best way to sum it up, is really going to make a difference in people's eyes. Because if they can recognize it, because their past may actually not let them recognize that you actually are what you say you are, or better yet, I'd rather not have somebody say there's something that, that they are. I'd rather see that they're doing something that their track record proves that they are what they are. And I get that. I get that impression from them, rather than them telling me about it, just watching that. And so lots of people, like I said, may have had a past where they've been manipulated and taken advantage of and stuff. And unfortunately, we all have different degrees of that kind of thing, and some much worse than others, of course. But hopefully, if someone has a track record of doing these things, that anybody, and especially those that have had a really bad experiences in the past, can recognize that this person is not blowing smoke. This person is actually telling me the truth. This person is actually just trying to help. This person is actually getting done what they said they were going to do for me, whatever the case is. So, fill in the blank, but it all makes a difference. So communicating regularly and doing it in a realistic fashion. In the sense of not always expedited, because you can't always do that. But it's like, for instance, when you're a musician and you're working, within 24 hours, if you're trying to hire somebody and they don't get back to you within 24 hours, it's common that people will start crossing you off their list, because they just want to know that you're going to get back to them right away. If you do that all the time, and always get back to them within that allotted time, or that kind of unsaid amount of time, and there's one time where it's later than that, and you have an excuse, you have a reason, probably they're going to believe you, because, okay, this is extenuating circumstances, because you're always consistent in the past, and I've never had a problem with you with that. So it's those kind of things. So getting back to people right away, as soon as you can. And then in a professional situation, of course, within 24 hours, is really important. If you're doing a one-to-one thing, if you know the person. If it's a business that you've never dealt with before, they have no reason to have to get back to you right away. But it's just like, but if you're dealing with individual kind of stuff, an individual transaction, within 24 hours, I think for pretty much anything is really a good thing. And, you may have things that kind of help prohibit that, but I got to tell you, if you do that kind of stuff and you make that a priority, and you're getting back to people, and they can solve the problem that they have, because if they're contacting you, they have an issue. Like, for instance, I need a trumpet player for X gig, and they get back to me within 24 hours. That means they solved my problem that I had, that I needed to get a trumpet player by, for a certain gig or something like that. Fill in the blank with any industry. So that just puts my mind at ease. Now I don't have to think about it anymore. So the quicker I do that, even if it's less than 24 hours, and now with smartphones, a lot of people do it like within an hour. It's a lot of people do, and there's some people that don't. But of course, within the 24-hour frame, it makes a huge difference in what that person that's working with you feels about you. So all this stuff really makes it so people will trust those individuals that are on top of all this. So hopefully it helps a little bit. I had to take a couple deep breaths before I actually made this video because it was quite frustrating. I was on the phone with a couple different people just within the last 20 minutes or so, and it was quite frustrating. But I thought, like, you know what, strike while the iron's hot. Here's a topic that is really important, and I think that it just needs to be talked about. So I hope it helps, and until the next one, thank you. Thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe. That helps so much, and I love your feedback. I hope that these videos can help. All right, thanks.